Hey, loved ones, how's it going? I am Joy, that is Steve, and welcome to the NFL Predictions versus Season 3.
Yeah, season three there. Where is the time fly there?
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised it's already September, not gonna lie. I wasn't prepared for this at all.
Ooh,
I made my picks and the rest of the layout stuff today, like 10 minutes ago, before we got in call. So, per the usual,
yeah.
fashionably late, but we got this. So, this year we opened it up to having more players. Last year we had John playing with us, and this year we are joined by, once again, John here to defend his crown, but also SDS and Buff, Water Buffalo, will be joining us. So we have a team of five.
Yeah. Hello to all our new players joining us, and unfortunately, Troll couldn't join us because due to circumstances beyond his control there, and I'm sure we'll hear his comments below the video there.
Yeah, he'll get to the videos when he has time to, and I'm sure that he'll hit me up whenever he's able. But it was more or less he's kind of footballed out, which I can understand because doing the predictions versus and two fantasy leagues like I am this year, I'm a little getting over it, but I still love the game, so I'm gonna definitely be interested in how the season's gonna go. Who do you think are the teams to watch for this upcoming season before we just dive right into the predictions?
Well, obviously, one thing I'd be watching for is the AFC West. There, whoever comes out of that, there, use a soccer term, that is the group of death. There, in my opinion, there
The
we
AFC?
got the AFC West there,
Okay.
because obviously with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs there, and then you have Justin Herbert and the Chargers there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the Broncos with their newest acquisition, Russell Wilson there, and of course we mustn't forget the Vegas Raiders there, who came a game close to getting in the playoffs themselves there.
Yeah, I think that that division is definitely very highly contested. It's going to be a very fun division to watch. Honestly, all of the West is going to be really, really fun to watch because the NFC West, I'm very curious how Seattle's going to do. I feel for you, John. I don't see them doing great things this year, to be fair. I don't think they really have a whole lot going for them right now, but I'm intrigued as someone who's used to that myself. I'm intrigued to see kind of how they bounce back from what they had to go through in the off season and losing out on Russell Wilson and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
the entire West is going to be interesting. Kyler Murray's got a big time contract. We need to see if he's going to be able to live up to that or if he's going to be the QB that I think he is.
Mhm.
And then the Rams, can they repeat? Will
Yeah,
Matthew Stafford survive this upcoming season? Pretty much is the question because, like Dad and I were talking about, we think that he's like one hard hit away from being done with the
mhm.
game itself because he's like a walking cast at this point. He's been injured for like 14 years in a row, just destroyed year after year after year. So that kind of tends to take a toll.
Yeah,
But I'm interested. And then the 49ers will get to see if Trey Lance is going to actually be able to come into his own or if he's going to need Jimmy G to come and bail him out again. So it'll be really, really interesting. Pretty much just the West, I think. The rest of the league is kind of,
mm, playing
eh.
playing
Well, I mean,
playing playing
yeah.
the normal standards.
I mean, kind of, yeah. It's kind of like a usual, like, the Cowboys are always going to be the top dog of the East, pretty much.
So,
The Eagles could be a good sleeper. I'm intrigued with the Eagles. They could be a very good sleeper for the division, but other than that, it's Dallas's division to lose at this point. Brady's division to lose in the South.
mhm.
So, I mean, been a lot of moving parts and moving pieces, but I really don't see a whole lot of changing of the guard just yet.
So,
But I'm very interested in the West. So,
exactly.
anything else you wanted to get into before we got?
No, I think we pretty much covered our look ahead to the season.
All right, cool. Then we shall get going with the first game of the season, as always, with the Super Bowl champions hosting. We've got the Rams hosting the Bills.
Yeah. Obviously, it's the banner raising ceremony game there.
Yep.
Started there, and the question is, can Josh Allen lead the Bills to a fantastic season in the AFC East? There, that's the main thing.
I fully expect them to. I think that they're going to be first in the division again this year.
Yeah.
They're quite the powerhouse. I do kind of agree with some people's opinions that they need a better running back. So they need a good runner to help kind of balance that out. But they're such a strong team, and especially now with that defense, I believe they have Von Miller now this year as well.
Yeah.
So there's a storyline for you. It's Von Miller facing his former team with LA. So
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, but I think this game's going to be a close one here to open up the season there. So you know what? I think I'm going to go with the Rams to win there, and I bet you they'll probably win by a field goal or less there.
yeah, I can see that. I don't really know like the whole point spread and scores and all that stuff. That's not really usually what I go into because I never know how to actually predict that. But I agree with you with the Rams. Dad took the Bills because they're the better team on paper, I think. So I
Yeah.
can see that. I wanted to take the Bills, but honestly, when I was checking, hi, I know you disagree. Um, with with the ESPN tracker being pretty much 50-50, I just decided I was going to go for the home team because that's kind of what I was at too. I was 50-50 for Buffalo and for LA. So I always give the nod to the home team, and hopefully Stafford is good. I'm pretty sure he'll play, but I just hope that
Yeah.
he's healthy enough to actually play to his full potential. But we'll see. NFC South, we have the Saints going to Atlanta, returning Jameis Winston and new Marcus Mariota
Yeah.
for the Falcons.
Obviously, the Falcons are a rebuilding team there.
Yeah, yeah, they've definitely entered that period.
Yeah, because they they they're going to go for a younger talent there and try to build there because they I guess this season they're going to be a lesser team to Brady and the Bucks there.
Yeah, pretty much. I think as much as I like Matt Ryan, I think that letting him go was a good decision.
Yeah.
Ultimately, because it was time to kind of move on from the team we had to the team we may be able to get in the future. Dino is just not liking my picks tonight. I don't know what your problem is.
Yeah.
Are you a Mariota fan and I don't know? Anyway, I'm taking the Saints. I don't know about you, but
I agree there.
all right, cool. I figured as much. No birds for you.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the 49ers going to Chicago for the Bears.
Yeah. And obviously, like you said, the Niners there are going to have to are relying on Trey Lance to be the number one QB. But I bet if he has one bad game there, you don't be surprised if Jimmy G comes in there.
100% Garoppolo is going to bail him out at some point this year. It reminds me of Ryan Fitzpatrick in Miami with Tua. Every time Tua would get himself in some trouble,
Mm-hmm.
here comes the veteran to save the day. So I think it's going to be kind of that kind of a thing. But honestly, if you're going to give Trey Lance a true pro football push and a game to kind of get him to where we can see what his talent level is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
the Bears are the perfect team to face because they don't really have a whole lot to offer.
True.
They don't have
And
Khalil Mack anymore. So, like, what do they even have?
yeah, what's the thing there? The QB there.
Justin
Uh,
Fields?
yeah, exactly. That's all they have left there.
Yep. Well, yeah, because Andy Dalton, I believe, is in New Orleans,
True.
I think.
Yeah.
So the Bears just have Justin Fields, and do they still have Nick Foles?
I have no idea.
I do not remember.
Yeah. I'm sure if there's a Bear fan watching the video there, they'll probably leave a message to let us know.
If you guys exist, go ahead and let me know who the backup to Justin Fields is, because quite frankly, I don't know or care.
Yeah.
But it is, interesting. But anyway, so all of that stuff aside, the the Bears have a decent running back, I'd say. But that's
Yeah.
about like the only like positive thing I can come up with. So
Okay. Yeah. It's Trevor Simeon, the backup quarterback.
is they
There, right?
got Trevor Simeon.
Yeah.
So basically what they did, right? So they traded New Orleans backups because Trevor
Mm-hmm.
Simeon was the backup down there, and now he's in
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. Okay, that's
There we.
sure, that's a good even trade.
Mm-hmm. There we go. But I bet you will be in agreement there, and we'll both take the Niners.
Yeah, yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
are. I'm not going with the Bears unless I absolutely have to, and you can't make me. So
Mm-hmm.
no. All right. An AFC North matchup now that I'm very, very intrigued with. Speaking of my hatred of the Bears, we have Pittsburgh
Mm-hmm.
and the Mitch going to Cincinnati.
Yeah. Yeah. Mitch Trubisky now it's now they're number one. That Big Ben's retired there.
Yeah, I mean, such a downgrade. Such a downgrade.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And the only other quarterback they have on their roster right now is Mason Rudolph.
They also have Kenny Pickett, who they just
Yeah.
drafted.
Yeah. True.
But I don't think they want to really throw him to the wolves this early. So I understand starting Mitch. Personally, I
Mm-hmm.
think I would have started Rudolph just because he was there longer. He knows the system more. He's a lot tougher and more scrappy. But I also have a well-known dislike of the Mitch. So of course,
And the question now is, can the Bengals repeat their incredible run there that took them to the big game
yeah,
last year?
yeah. Your sophomore success year is always going to be more difficult. This is definitely a prove it year for them, and they're not starting off with a light schedule here, taking on Pittsburgh, because that defense is still solid. As much as I uh, I joke on the offense because of who their current QB is. Their team is fairly solid, so it'll be
Mm-hmm.
a tough matchup here.
Yeah,
What you thinking?
yeah. Obviously, I think Bengals are gonna win this one there. So think that they'll probably continue the success from last season there, and I'm sure that they'll be the team to beat in the AFC North.
I mean, you still have Baltimore to contend with for
True.
that. Cleveland, like, they sank straight to the bottom with the trade that they pulled off. So, in my opinion, personally, the Steelers I think are going to be middle of the road because they don't have a like big time quality QB leading them. So it's going to come down to a dogfight between the Bengals and the Ravens, I think. But for this week, I am in agreement and I will take Cincinnati over Pittsburgh, even though I love TJ Watt. Y'all know me and the Watts, but
Yeah.
not this game,
No.
unfortunately.
No.
All right, next up, I think I'm going to have a massive split on this one because, of course, I will. We have the Eagles. Your guys are in the wrong spot, but you know what? I'm gonna roll with it. We have the Eagles going to Detroit. Just on the screen, just pretend that they're flip flopped, and it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Exactly.
dumb apparently.
No worries there. We all make mistakes there.
We do. Everybody needs a Frank in the room, as they say, for the old Trading Spaces reference. So the Lions matchup is just my Frank.
Yeah.
It's the one
And
thing
obviously,
different.
yeah, yeah. Obviously with the Eagles there, question is, can Jalen Hurts improve his game this year?
Yeah, we talked about how the Bengals as a team have a prove it year. I think this is Hurts' prove it year. They got him new weapons and a really good defensive lineman in the draft, I believe. So
Yeah,
this could be the year that they try to make a push. And if he's going to be that guy to lead them, then he needs to prove it.
yeah, exactly. There, because you never know with all the other teams in the NFC East. There, they can surprise you there for some reason.
Yeah, they're still the NFC least, in my opinion, but
Hmm.
I think that this year could be a lot more competitive than years past, just because things are finally starting to click a little bit across all four teams. The Giants, not so much, but we'll see how they do this year with new leadership.
And obviously the Cowboys there and are the Cowboys there.
Yeah, of course. Now that Dak is going
Hmm.
to be back, we'll
Yeah,
we'll see
sure.
if he can stay healthy all year and then lead them into the playoff push because you know that they're going to get there. They'll probably go like
Yeah,
middle of the road again. I was going to say 9-7, but that was prior, so it'd be like 10-7 because we have a
yeah,
17-week schedule now or
yeah,
17 game schedule. Pardon.
yeah, yeah. And with the Lions there, the question is, can Jared Goff improve his status there with the Lions?
Yeah, for me, it's coming down to coaching improvement more so than player improvement. We need to stop doing so many fourth and long attempts for no reason. We've already established the grit. It is time to just play the game intelligently and actually just try to go for the win instead of trying to build up attitude and grit. Now, as far as Jared Goff goes, if we get the Jared Goff that we had in the latter part of the season, then I think it'll be smooth sailing and totally fine. Because he struggled early on for sure. Injuries didn't help with the rest of the team, but this year he does have more healthy players back helping him and an increase in weaponry with the signing of DJ Chark. So
Yeah.
I think they'll be okay. I think they're going to surprise some people, but by no means is this going to be some kind of a you know massive playoff run type of year. I don't buy it.
That's true.
That being said,
Yeah.
who we taking?
Uh, I'm going to take the Eagles myself there in the
Yeah,
close game.
I was gonna, I was gonna, but I wanted to be risky.
Mhm.
And who better to risk it with than the coach who risks it all the time? So I'm going
Mhm.
with the Lions on this one. I think they're gonna surprise some people, and they're at home. They got standing room only capacity in their stadium. So and they got beat by Philadelphia embarrassingly last year, and so they're still remembering that, and they're gonna come out for vengeance. So there's our first split, I believe.
Yeah. First split of 2022.
Yeah, and of course it's with the Lions again. We're gonna repeat this a lot, I feel, because I'm still a believer at
Yeah.
heart. So
Mm-hmm. Go with your gut.
yeah, yeah. I feel it, And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I was also wrong with the layout, so that's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, moving on to the AFC East. Now we have the Patriots going to Miami.
True. Obviously, this is going to be a quarterback game there with Mac Jones and the Patriots and the two and the Dolphins there.
Yeah, I agree.
These, yeah. The question is, can Belichick keep the momentum up for the Patriots? But unfortunately, it's going to be a down season for them. And question is, how much more time does Belichick have left as a coach?
I think that Belichick can kind of like write his own ticket as far as that's concerned. They're not gonna let him go by any means. He might retire and then hand it over to his son.
Uh,
But
might might be close to retirement.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It all depends on how his health does. If he's still healthy and able to do what he does, then I don't see a reason for him to not. My problem is who they have coordinating the offense.
Yeah,
Because as far as I know, they have Joe Judge and Matt Patricia,
yeah,
both of which are kind of more defensive minded people, and they're trying to coordinate for Mac Jones. And I feel so bad for this kid having to be uh, tutored by Matt Patricia. It's gonna ruin him if somebody doesn't step in quickly. I feel bad,
yeah,
but I do
exactly.
agree that it's gonna be a down year for them a little bit. I mean, they're the Patriots, so they'll still be fine. I still think they'll make the playoffs, but it's gonna definitely be a rough year for them after losing Josh McDaniel.
Sure. So, I think this one I'm going to go with the home team there because the Dolphins always do well at home against the Patriots for some reason there, and I the past couple of years, and I don't know why. So I'm going to take to win the Dolphins to win.
Oof, back-to-back splits on my part. That's concerning. I went ahead and went with the Patriots because I'm going based on last year, and
Okay.
I still believe in Mac Jones. I'm concerned for his future
Mm-hmm.
in the coordinating position, but I still believe in his talent, and I still think that Bill Belichick is kind of a genius. So I'm just gonna kind of
Mm-hmm.
trust coaching on this one.
Okay.
And Miami is in a first-year coach after last year's debacle, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that that's kind of what's gonna tip the scales in that direction. But I can definitely see Miami winning. So it was
Yeah.
a it was a worthwhile split, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up we head still to the AFC with the Jets hosting the Ravens. This should be just a Ravens win. Lol.
Yeah. Obviously, there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Flacco against his former team there.
Now that is a very good story.
Mm-hmm.
Having Joe Flacco start against the team that let him go after
Mm-hmm.
you robbed them of millions,
Yeah. Exactly.
to be fair. But
No.
it's really interesting. I do want the Jets to succeed because it's always really funny when they do.
Yeah.
Like last year, like of all the teams to have won when they shouldn't have, the Jets managed to pull it off, and they ruined a lot of good weeks.
Yeah.
Like I remember being angry at them a lot, but no, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Ravens on this one. I'm pretty sure you agree with me.
Agree.
Yeah, they're just a much better team at this stage. I do not like Lamar Jackson, but they're a much better overall team at this point than the Jets are.
That that is unless the Jets start Zach Wilson there. That, that,
I do like Zach Wilson,
mhm.
memes and all.
But, he's one injury away from possibly career threatening there.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Which is weird because he's so young and so fresh to the league. But hopefully
Yeah,
not. Hopefully he'll be decent going forward.
yeah.
All right, next up we have Jaguars at Washington.
Okay, yeah. The Washington Commanders, new name, new logo, new jerseys, but I think it's going to be the same team as before.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, but obviously they're playing the right team to start the season there with the Jaguars there and Trevor Lawrence there, and we never know what kind of team they have.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not quite sure. Their draft pick. I thank them for taking who they did because it freed up getting Hutch. But we'll have to see how he actually works out.
Mm,
Trayvon Walker, I believe it was.
yeah.
He seemed like a
So
decent stud, though. I was seeing a little bit of his game in preseason. He was decent.
yeah, yeah. But I like I said there, I think this is the perfect game for Washington to win there, and I'm going to take the Commanders over over the Jags.
Yeah, I agree. I think new QB, getting Chase Young back and staying healthy,
Mm,
new name, you got something to fight for. I'm gonna
yeah,
go ahead and take Washington and hope that they can make the NFC at least a little bit more interesting.
sure.
So it's not just Dallas wins all the time, you know?
Mhm. Yeah,
That'd be
know what
nice.
you mean.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. Now,
Hmm.
this next game is the one that I'm honestly looking the most forward to for a very special
Hmm.
reason. We have the Browns going to Carolina.
Yeah, obviously, fans of Baker Mayfield have circled this day on their calendar.
Oh, you know he did. You know he did. He is going to go off. Now,
Hmm.
I've never liked Baker. I always thought that his attitude was very annoying, but
Yeah,
I do think that he was kind of done dirty by this whole thing. And so I'm not changing my stance completely, but I'm definitely more in his corner than I
hmm,
ever have been before, which isn't really saying a whole lot, but still.
yeah,
But I really, really hope that he does well this year. He deserves it after all that he's been through.
hmm, exactly. There's and obviously the Browns are going to have to wait for Deshaun Watson wait another 11 games to see him on the field there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously gonna, from now it's going to be Jacoby Brissett at the QB helm.
Yeah, which I don't really know how to feel about that. Like I think he's a competent enough QB, but it's gonna be very run heavy. Now, it's
Yeah.
helpful that the Browns happen to have very good running back core on the team. So it'll be good
Sure.
for that. And then they have a decent defense. So maybe Jacoby Brissett can actually manage it well. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be concerned if I'm a fan.
Sure. So I bet you we'll be in agreement there and take the Panthers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going with Baker on this one. As
Mhm.
much as I've dogged on him in a while, which is hilarious because dog pound. But as much as I've gone against him, I'm in his corner for this one. So we'll see how he does this year, and I really hope for the best because
Mhm.
he's
Exactly.
everybody needs that one player that they don't really like, but they kind of like, and I think Baker's kind of that one for me. Like I
Hmm.
don't like him, but I kind of like him, you know. So
Hmm.
we'll see how he does, and hopefully he can kind of sway me that other direction and be more of a fan. All right. Next up, apparently this one has upset potential if you are SDS in our competition. I don't see it, but we'll see how it
Hmm.
goes. We have the Colts going to the Texans.
Yeah. Obviously, this probably a good test for Matt Ryan's new team there.
Yeah, honestly, you've got Matt Ryan, you've got Jonathan Taylor, you've got that defense from last year, and that really good offensive line. I
Hmm.
don't really see an issue.
Sure.
The team is solid, and they upgraded the one position that they needed to upgrade.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously Texans there. We don't know what what kind of team they'll have there.
I still don't know. I think they have David Mills as their QB.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be my guess there.
The only thing that I can say is I do like Lovey Smith.
Yeah.
So I think that if
So,
there's any kind of coach that can kind of help reshape that a little bit and give a better future going forward, it would be Lovey Smith. So there's
yeah.
potential and there's some hope in Houston, but it's not bright
Too
hope.
early to tell.
Yeah, it's not a lot of hope, but it's some hope.
Hmm. Sure. So obviously, I'm going to take the Colts over the Texans
Yeah,
myself.
yeah. Yes. That was like the first game that I wrote down was this
Hmm.
one because it's like, oh, okay, Colts makes sense.
Yeah.
This one I believe was the second game that I wrote down. We have the Giants going to Tennessee.
Yeah, obviously that's one no-brainer for us there.
Yeah, it's the Derrick Henry though. You can call me a fangirl all you want to, troll, but I'm proud of it.
Yeah,
Well, because I am in
yeah,
two fantasy leagues
you're damn proud
with
of it there.
yeah, exactly. I am in two fantasy leagues with Troll, and in both of our drafts for Saturday and Sunday, I took Derrick Henry first. He was my first round pick in both
Yeah,
drafts, so he called me a fangirl, rightfully so. And yeah,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. So
Gotta go with the Russian.
yep. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just delete the Giants right now. We should probably try to say something about them. We've been saying
Yeah,
something about every other team, so
yeah. They're
Saquon Barkley.
team in the limbo right now.
They kind of are. I do see them as last in the division again,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm encouraged by Barkley. I've always liked him as a runner. I've liked his running style, so having him back on would be decent. At least I believe he is. I don't know how healthy he is. I haven't really been keeping up with it. I should get in touch with Laura actually about that and see how the team is looking.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure she'll make some interesting points about it.
Yeah, yeah. She normally does the fantasy stuff with me, but she didn't get the chance to play the pool this year, so we're just gonna kind of chat about the picks in general.
Sure.
But so we are in agreement that we're going with Tennessee because Derrick Henry, and yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Up to the NFC North now. We have the Packers and Minnesota. It is in
Yeah,
Minnesota.
yeah. Obviously, question with the Vikings is Kirk Cousins still the answer for them? But I'm going to say unfortunately not there.
I will defer to Buff on that one. He is the Vikings fan among us. We have Lions. I believe you're Broncos, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
Uh,
so
the Lions, the Bears, the Vikings, and the Packers.
no, no. I mean for the your favorite team, your team of choice. Your team is the Broncos, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we have the Lions, the Broncos, the Seahawks, the Buccaneers, and the
Mhm.
Vikings, all
Yeah,
represented on our clipboard here. So if
mhm.
there's any opinions or critique or feedback on the teams themselves, I would prefer to kind of defer to who knows them the best because as a Lions fan, I don't really feel like I have a whole lot I can rightfully say about Minnesota,
Mhm.
except I really like their running back a lot. He's a very
Yeah,
good runner.
true.
I've never liked Kirk Cousins. I know that he's fine.
Mhm.
Statistically, he's a decent QB. He's got a preferable personality to Aaron Rodgers, so from that reason alone, I would definitely go with Minnesota because Green Bay can, you know,
Yeah.
kick rocks. But
And obviously the Packers they're getting Aaron Rodgers locked up to a new deal there, making him highest paid
because of
player.
course they did. That entire off-season drama was just that. It was drama for the sake of being dramatic because he's extra. But my thing with Green Bay is you paid him all this money and you ain't got nobody to throw to.
Mm-hmm.
So like what's the plan there? They have a decent running game. I do like their two runner set.
Yeah,
But and the defense is fine.
yeah.
But I don't really know what kind of weapons he's going to have. I mean, unless he's this Tom Brady or Peyton Manning style QB that can make anybody a star just because they're
Mm-hmm.
that good,
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't really know the game plan here.
Yeah. But this week, obviously, I'm going to go Packers on the road and trust Aaron Rodgers to have a huge game.
Yeah, I don't know about obviously because like I did at least think about it because Minnesota could be a sleeper for
Mm-hmm.
sure in the division, but
Mm-hmm.
I unfortunately agree with you and I'm taking Green Bay because it's Green Bay and they will always be number one until somebody shows up to actually dethrone them.
Yeah.
They're like
But
truly America's team, it feels.
yeah, obviously, apologies to our lone Vikings fan.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Buff, but I'm pretty sure you agreed, actually. I have
Mhm.
everybody's picks in the editor ready to go for the end of the episode, so we'll see if I'm right or if my memory is absolutely horrible and I do not remember what he picked. Next, we head to the AFC and the NFC with a battle of the Chiefs and the Cardinals, and a battle of the West. That's a much better way of putting it than the way I tried to.
This one's going to be a huge, huge game there,
It is.
epic proportions
It is.
with Mahomes with the Chiefs, and you have Kyler Murray with the Cardinals there.
Mm-hmm. He needs to earn his contract and stop getting so distracted.
Yeah. So this one's going to be a huge aerial game there, in my opinion.
Mm, yeah, I mean, maybe. They have
Uh,
James Conner in
unless,
Arizona.
yeah, unless Kyler decides to run some plays there himself.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's the smaller version of Lamar Jackson, so he probably will take to the ground a lot for himself. That's kind of the issue with him, in my opinion, and other run first QBs is they're really easy to kind of predict what they're going to do because if you can catch them, you got them, right? Like you need to box them in, and then you take away their main game plan if they don't have a run lane.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I don't know. I'm not a big fan of scrambling QBs. Like the only one that I even liked was Michael Vick, and at least he had an arm, you know.
Exactly. But this one's going to be another close game in my opinion there, and I think I'm going to take Mahomes and the Chiefs there to come out on top against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it'll be as close as everybody probably hopes for it to be. I really like what the Chiefs did in the offseason, bringing in Juju after
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill left. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping that they kind of can just plug him into where Tyreek Hill was and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of it was like a lateral shift, so they didn't really miss a beat. And Travis Kelsey, of course, is always going to be a beast for you. And Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, so they should be fine. I think that's going to be a really good game, but I think that they're going to win by a fairly decent margin, I would say.
Sure.
All right, AFC West, the battle for the division with the Raiders and the Chargers. I
Yeah.
say battle of the division because of how last season ended for
Yeah.
the both of them. I was
Sure.
so hoping that they would tie. They were so close to being able to tie. That would have been
Yeah.
amazing, but
Yeah.
they didn't. Much
No.
to my chagrin, they did not.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said this earlier, that's going to be the group of death in the entire NFL there. The
Yeah.
AFC
I mean,
West.
all of the teams are just so evenly matched in that division. It's really hard to pick out one that's going to stand out as the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously with Justin Herbert there in the in LA there, and you have Derek Carr in Vegas there.
Hmm.
Yeah, but this one's going to come down to a 3 point or less game there, and I think I'm going to take the Chargers there to come out on top.
I agree. I think it'll be a close game, but honestly, I think that the Chargers have a lot more talent on that roster, and they're not fresh. Like they have some time in with the coach and the other players and the whole scheme, and the Raiders don't have that right now. And I think they're still kind of recovering from all of the drama that they had to deal with last year.
Exactly.
So I think that just from a stability standpoint alone, I'm going with the Chargers.
Yeah.
All right, now we have Sunday Night Football with the Cowboys hosting Tampa. Sorry, I
Yeah.
clicked the wrong button again.
Raiding the Bucks.
Yep, the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
We got the
Yeah.
Brady Bunch going to Back to the Future.
Yeah. Obviously, the question now is, can Brady's arm hold out for one more season there? And obviously, he doesn't have Gronk to throw to yet.
No,
Unless,
he does not.
unless, Brady goes to his door on his hands and knees, begging him to come back for one more season.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I think that Brady can handle things pretty well with this team as it is.
Mhm.
He doesn't have like a great tight end in Cameron Brate, but
Mhm.
Brady is one of those QBs that can make anybody look good.
Yeah.
I believe anyway. So they got that. They have Mike Evans. They have Julio Jones that they recently signed.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I think that they'll be okay offensively. Leonard Fournette is still there, and he's a passing threat as well as a rushing threat. So I think that you can expect a lot of differentiation there.
Yeah.
But
And like we said, the Cowboys. There are the Cowboys. There. The question is, can Dak improve from last season? There.
if he stays healthy, it'll be a very good year for them.
Mhm.
They don't have Amari Cooper anymore, which I don't know how big of a loss that actually is. Papa Agron might be able to give a little bit more insight into that if he's watching, and if not, then anyone else who's close to him and to the community that would know, feel free to leave your input. I think they have a decent running back core as well
Mhm.
as like I said with Green Bay, and Dak Prescott is a very decent QB. I don't know. I've always kind of seen them as a middle of the road team, and I mean that's because of the meme of going 8-8, 7 and
Yeah.
9 under Jason Garrett for so many
Right.
years.
Right.
But I don't know. I do think that they're going to definitely win the division, and I think they can win this game.
Mhm.
But for me, I went with Tampa because, like Dad and I were saying, I'm going to stick with Brady until he gives me a reason not to.
Mhm.
Until I'm told, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea. I'm going to
Yeah.
go ahead and stick with Tampa because you got to believe in Brady.
But, I bet you we're going to split on this one because I'm going to take the Cowboys in a field goal or less win.
Yeah, you agree with Buff in this week, and then I agree with the other two on
Mhm.
taking Tampa. So we do have another split game this week with this one.
Okay.
I can see Dallas winning, but I'm gonna believe in Brady until told otherwise.
Yeah.
All right, last up, we have Monday Night Football, which is another story game. It's
Mhm.
no surprise that the NFL decided to schedule it this way. We have the Broncos and the new Bronco and Russell Wilson going back to Seattle to take on the Seahawks.
Yeah. Obviously, this the game on Russell Wilson's calendar there to get revenge on his former team.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they left on bad terms or if they're chill with each other. John, you can let me know that as well in the comments because you would know, you follow it up. I don't really feel like it was very heavily tense. Like I don't feel like there's a lot of animosity there, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see him in orange
Yeah.
and on Seattle's field. It's just really really strange.
Yeah. A little
Um,
unusual.
yeah, I mean unless he's going to be wearing their other uni, in which case
Yeah.
there goes my point.
Mhm.
But unfortunately for this matchup, I don't think that Seattle has anything really except for DK Metcalf,
Yeah.
and DK Metcalf will
True.
only be as good as Geno Smith throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
So good luck with that.
Yeah. But I bet you we'll be in agreement with this one and take the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Broncos. Even without Russell Wilson, they had a lot more talent on that team.
Hmm.
With Melvin Gordon alone being the running back is a lot more talent than what Seattle has to offer. So I'm definitely going with Denver on that one, and that caps us off for the first week of season 3. How many splits did we
Now
have?
we have three splits, obviously.
We had 3.
With
All right.
Patriots there, I took Patriots. You took Dolphins. You took the Lions. I took the Eagles, and you took the Bucks, and I took the Cowboys.
Yep, and then everything else is the same pretty much.
Hmm.
I will say one thing though is I believe I took the Patriots and you took the Dolphins.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
My bad.
No problem. You're good. And now the picks of the other three competitors. We have John on the left, SDS in the middle, and Water Buffalo, obviously by the name, off to the right. So there's all of their picks. There are the splits. John and Buff have four. He was telling me that in the DMs before I started recording. They've got four splits already, so that'll be really interesting. Everyone's in agreement pretty much on most things.
Mhm.
Buff took the Raiders over the Chargers, so there's a big time split with us there.
Okay.
He went with the Vikings over the Packers, so I would love to hear your reasoning behind that, besides just being the hometown team, because that was basically my reasoning for Detroit, except for the fact that Detroit has more grit and more to prove this year, so that's kind of why I went with them over the Eagles. I am the only one that went with the Lions, so go me.
Mhm.
Great. But
Yeah.
hey, look, if I'm right, then I'm immediately one up on y'all. So I'm
Okay.
more than happy with that. The only one who went with the Bills was SDS.
Mhm.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we have it. That was the first week. I'm very excited to be doing this again. Thank you for agreeing to continue the series.
Problem. But we got one last thing to cover here.
We
You got
do.
we got to put on our fortune teller hats right now to predict.
What's Berman's thing? The Swami
Yeah.
channel, the Swami.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, obviously, who we think is going to be in the big game on February
Man,
12th, 2023 in Arizona.
man. Oh, Arizona. Do you think they can have any kind of chance of hosting their
Yeah.
own Super Bowl game? Personally, I say nah. I
No,
don't I don't see them getting there.
no. Okay. Now, for me, there, this one's going to be tough. There, in the NFC, there, I think I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers there, and for the AFC there, ooh, I'm going to take somebody from the group of death there, and I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs there. Safe bet.
I think that's a decent pick. I'm definitely more torn on the AFC side of things. Let me take a look at my board here. I really want to say the Rams will repeat.
Mhm.
Um, just because I don't want it to be a fluke, even though they
Mhm.
probably won't. I really don't want to see Green Bay go back. I really don't. So I'm not gonna go with Green Bay. So I think we're gonna go ahead and say the Rams,
Okay.
just because I
Okay.
don't really have any other like leading NFC team that I can think of. And then on the AFC side, what I think would be really fun is if the championship game is a rematch of the very first game of the season. Hi, Dino. And I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Bills because I want the Bills to get back there so badly. I think they deserve it. So I'm gonna say that the championship game is a rematch of the first game of the season with the Bills and the Rams.
Ooh, good one there.
I think that's gonna be a good game, and I think that story
Mhm.
wise it makes the most sense. And if not the Bills, then I will default to the Chiefs. But
Okay.
I'm going Bills just because I really believe in that team. I would have gone with Tennessee, but Ryan
Mhm.
Tannehill is probably going to try to be a hero again, and Derrick Henry's not going to get his touches in the playoffs, and they're going to get bounced. It's just
Yeah.
how it's going to go.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and then that's going to spell an end to the Tannehill era because you blew it twice. But
Yeah.
that's just kind of my take. I think San Francisco would also be fun. They'd be a nice surprise. But the
Yeah.
NFC really doesn't have very many powerhouses to choose from,
Mhm.
to be
Yeah.
fair. All right, so
Well, like it.
go ahead.
That's everything here.
Yeah, that is everything for week one. Be sure to let us know your championship picks down below for the week one, just to kind of see how they go throughout the year, and if you're gonna stick to your guns and stick with who you chose, or if you're gonna change throughout the year based on what you see.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
beware, sticking to your guns can cost you,
Yeah.
as
And
I learned.
Yeah, and obviously to all those who play fantasy football, we wish you the best of luck in them. Please play play by the rules there, because we don't want any Tommy Pham, Jock Peterson incidents in the
Yeah, that was some messed up stuff right there, I tell you what.
offseason.
But my fantasy team is called Knee Cuisine, a
Mm-hmm.
little take on lean cuisine, but
Yeah.
kneecaps. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really fun. But I'm not looking forward to the fantasy just because I know that I'm not going to really do well. But I'm looking forward to learning how it all goes, and it's been a really fun experience learning how to draft and team build and all of that.
Yeah.
But let us know down in the comments below what you guys think. We've gone on for a very long time, but it's the first episode of the season, so we had to get everything out and ramble on and talk about last year and all that. So,
Yeah. And obviously hit the like and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for all future videos on the site here.
yep, I would definitely appreciate that. You don't have to subscribe if you don't really want to, but
Mm-hmm.
it would be the best way of like finding the new videos whenever they're out, just based on what you would like to see the most. Give us your feedback down below. Let us know your championship picks, who you think is going to be the most surprising team of the season, what player you're looking forward to seeing grow the most this season, and just overall how much you're excited for this season of the predictions versus. And we will catch you next week for week 2 and the week 1 recap of the NFL season.
Thank you all. See you next week.